Hey folks, Lee with Reel Rollers, and we are once again excited to show you another support video to help you maintain your Revolution 20 or your Revolution 26. This is going to be a pretty short video, but it's an easy process to do. And what we're going to talk about today is in the event that your drive shaft loses a keyway on some of the earlier models, we're going to walk you through how to upgrade your Revolution 26 specifically with this additional spacer, so that in the future these keyways cannot come out, regardless of how the worm screws are holding in place. So to do this, let me give you an overview of what we're going to be doing. So first, as you can see, this is one of the mowers that we use for videos. This is an original Revolution 26 and 2024, one of the very first year of models. And if you come this way, you will see that this drive shaft is connected to the engine drive shaft. And here's a collar in between. To hold these in synchronization, you'll see there's a cutout with a small keyway in there, and that keyway is about that size. And then on the engine side, I scoot over, you'll see another keyway. It's in a slotted area. That keyway is actually much longer, and it's very common to see it sticking out. So one thing we've seen over time is sometimes these worm screws, one of them become loose. And if they become loose, one of these keyways can slide out, and then the engine is spinning, but the rest of the mower is not. So we found out that we were dependent on these worm screws to hold these in place. We came up with a creative fix for the long term, only in the event that you lose a keyway, to use this spacer. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove these worm screws, loosen the engine with these 4 bolts. It's fairly simple. Slide the engine, there's 2 in the back, I'm sorry. Slide the engine a little bit over to the left, remove these keyways, these 2 keyways, replace them with 2 short keyways, and then have this spacer that sits right here, so that in the event down the road any of these worm screws come loose, it doesn't matter, because this collar can't shift at all and the keyways can't come out. So this is the long-term fix in the event that you've had a keyway come out. It doesn't happen often, but if we're going to replace the keyway, we want to upgrade it to make sure that this never happens again. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to loosen up these 4 worm screws. I've got an Allen wrench right here. These are standard, we call them worm screws, but you'll see they're just small. Put it right here so you can see a little better. Just small little screws. I'm going to remove all 4 of these. Now you'll notice on this mower, all the keyways are there. This mower has been used by the landscapers for quite a long time, and the keyways never fell out. So, but it's a great way to show you guys how this works. So first, the nice thing about the Revolution when we made the design is we actually welded nuts under the frame, so that you don't have to have a screwdriver or a wrench below the mower just to loosen up the engine. And this is really simple to do. Only downside is you don't have a whole lot of room to turn the wrench. There's 1 loose, 2 loose. And just a tip, let's use the bolts that came out of the hole in the same hole. So I'm going to set that one there so I know that was in the front corner. Because I believe, well I know, the bolt in this back corner is actually just a little bit longer to make up for holding the tensioners, or I'm sorry, the cable guides. So to the back. I'm gonna leave that one connected just so I know which one went there. Now, all I'm gonna do is just grab the engine and just slide it towards me. You can see, it was super easy to come out. And you can see just what we said. Collar. There's a long keyway. It is sitting right inside this little cutout, and then sitting inside this cutout. So it goes, see our perspective, I don't know if you can see that cutout, and it would slide right back on there. That's how it was. And on this side, see the keyway in this cutout? I'll pop it out here in a second. I don't need to pop it out, but I'm just gonna do it to show you guys. I would like to leave it in, but just so you can see it, because they're pressed in here pretty tight. I'm just pulling this keyway out so you can see what it looks like. That was the keyway that fits right in that slot. So let's make this quick upgrade. As I mentioned, I'm gonna take this little spacer. It slides right onto there. And because we're putting this spacer in here, we are no longer going to use a long keyway. This can be thrown away. Instead, we're going to use the short keyway. So all I need to do is set this keyway right in there. As I mentioned, same collar, has it cut out. I'm going to line it up. It slides right on there. And then throw my other keyway. And if the keyway has a little bit of a tight fit, it's supposed to. That's okay. We want it to be a tight fit. In fact, sometimes we want it so tight that we have to shave it a little bit to make it pressed in, but I'll use pliers, throw it in there. And then all I have to do is rotate my little collar or the shaft so that the keyway fits in the hole. Now here's what you're going to notice. You can no longer see the keyway on this side, and you can't see the keyway on this side. They're now squished together so that even if I don't even technically need these worm screws, those keyways are going to hold this shaft and the engine locked in for the long term. Such a simple upgrade. Wouldn't worry about doing this if your mower's going great, but sometimes, after a year or two, these worm screws can get loose and a keyway can fly out. Super easy fix. So all we're going to do, before I tighten these up, I want to get the engine set right. So I'm going to put these bolts right back, hand tighten them to make sure my engine is lined up with my shaft before I start adding these worm screws. So I'm just going to drop them in, and I can feel when the threads are grabbing like this one just grabbed. So one thing I do want to do is I do want to make these all snug. I don't want to tighten them yet. I just want to get them snug, all four, to make sure I have a really good alignment of the motor onto the frame. So you'll notice I'm just going to make these a little bit tight, and then I'm going to go to the back and make sure they're all close. Now that we have all these in place, I'm going to add some red thread lock. Honestly, it's probably not needed. It's probably overkill, but I just want to do it to make myself feel good. You do not have to do this because now, as we made this change, there really is no way for this thing to come out. But I like to be consistent, so put my worm screw right here. Nope, it's still closed. try that again. Get a little Loctite on it. So, just like that, honestly, that was almost, in real time, that took us 15 minutes, I think, total. It really wasn't bad at all. Super easy solution to making sure that down the road, for those of you that had a 2024 Revolution, and you do not have this spacer here, easy way to add it in the event a keyway comes out, and to ensure you never have a keyway come out again. Thanks again for watching. If you have any other questions, feel free to email us and contact us. We're here to help you guys out. Thanks, and have a great day.